Aloha. Make sure we're in tune together. Quick recap, we're just going to go over turning majors into minors. We've got our C major in second position, actually. C major in first position. Looks exactly like the B does. To make the B, you play the B and the F sharp with your first finger, first node. Then you put down the third, do, re, mi. It's going to be the E flat or the D sharp here. Because we're in the key of B, we've got B, C, D. So it would be a D flat. B, F sharp, D flat. I'm sorry, not a D flat, a D sharp. D sharp and then a unison B. So if we wanted to get the minor, we would take away the third step, which is that D, and it goes from a D sharp down to a D, which makes a minor. So you can do that with every chord. Here's the G. Here's the A. Here's the new A we learned. You're going to make it just like you make the G7 here. You're going to put it down here and then slide it all the way up to the 4th fret, having your first finger on the E. Then you can put the octave E there. Plus, scales we'll get to the end of this video. So the C to the C minor, you could also add the octave there. The D would go to the D minor. You could also do a D minor by playing your D major, getting your F sharp to an F, because that's a half step down, which makes your D a D minor. F is a hard one. You've got your first finger on the first fret on the E string, this string, and then you put it on the F, and then you've got your second finger on the A. You want the A to go to A flat, so you're going to need to be able to go whoop. So you take your first finger and put it in on the A flat, and switch in your second finger, which was on the A, to the F. Add that C there because it's in the chord. F, G, A, B, C. F, A, C would be your trichord, which we were talking about. And in trichords, you either have a major trichord or a minor trichord. Ook is great for that. When you have strings, more strings like that are still in diatonic, like a bass or a guitar, it becomes a little bit different. Or not a bass, it has 4 strings, but basses have more 4 strings. All right, so F, blah, 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 G, do, 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 got their D. Let's go to a B. Take away that third. Looks like a C. Take away that third. D, D minor. E is the harder one. So here's our D major. We keep this open. Has that little caveat where you have to have the A ring play. Well, if you're going to go up a whole step, you got to go up a whole step here. So instead of playing an A open, you play a B, which means you have, yeah? The way you get a minor on an E is to drop this note to this note, because that is the third of E. That's what we would have for the E minor. I love this one. Kind of goes down like a fingers. Cool. So E. So we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Now is when we're going to start doing the scales. Now we talked about this. The exoskeleton are the outlying parentheses around all those notes. You would have, those are all the notes in a D major. That's a diatonic chromatic scale all the way up. But we don't want half step, 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 blah, 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 blah. What we want is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Doing this creates a mode. It's the Ionian mode, the first one. It's considered the major. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. You could do that in D and have it, because there's 2 sharps in D. One is F and one is C, so that would make the F and C sharps. You'd have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. When you're going through these scales, try and use the corresponding finger with the corresponding finger. I know it might seem weird, but we'd have a D with the first finger and the first finger here. We would skip this fret because you can play all your frets up. Wherever you start is you should skip, okay? So you're going to skip your middle finger, go to your third finger for the E you're going to have here. Now we're going to switch our fingers to the middle finger and play the F sharp, half step to the G, whole step to the A, because we're going to skip that fret with this finger. We're going to go up here. We're going to switch our fingers to the third finger up here. We're going to skip this fret because our finger should have gone up like this, right? But we wanted a whole step from the B to the C sharp because there's 2 sharps in the key of D. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. You can do that all the way up with all these. That pattern now becomes the major pattern. So try that in all those. And when you get it all the way up the fretboard, go back and check it out to see how do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the C major, it feels weird with those 3 open notes, but take away the open notes, same pattern. I can't do it. All right, so practice those, practice scales, and here are the other rhythm things that we're going to throw at a bunch of music too. Reggae. Rest. Rest. Or rest. Down, up. Down, up. Or you do double. If you need to, you can slow it down up here on the top. Or you could make it faster if you want to go a little bit faster. So I would say tap your toe while you're doing these, look at this, and when you're forming these, try and think of your head what the triads are. Literally say, I'm in the key of D. D, E, F. D to F is a third. D, E, F, G, A. D to A is a fifth. So your first, third, and fifth would be your trichord. If you had just an F, it would be a minor. And since there's an F sharp in the key of D, that would make it a major. That's a half-step difference. And just try and think about that when you're playing your... Because when you put your fingers down, you'll see that that's the F sharp, that's the D, and that's the A. It seems so simple, like you were seeing in practice the other day, but honestly, until you just get the jargon and all the vocabulary and have all the tools in your tool bag, it's very hard to complete the job. Other than that, these are the basic steps. Keep your fingers over the frets. Don't play on the metal. When you're doing it, try and change your fingers. And what we're going to be doing is going from a couple of these songs and playing stuff. I think we're playing a little Zeppelin too. We played a little bit of Beatles too. I'll give you another video with that Beatles thing so you can follow it as well. Anyway, practice those for this week, and we're going to be moving into more complex rhythms and starting finger picking.